Man, I am getting at that age where seeing that picture and hearing the quote of, it doesn't matter where you're coming from, what matters is where you're going, is really clear to you. And I just quit my dead end job 2 days ago because it was toxic, a hostile work environment, and we were expected to do twice or triple the work, even quadruple, for the same amount of pay. And I noticed as time went on, coworkers were leaving, and it seemed like the work and responsibilities were pushed onto me alone, and I was taking on my own position because it was getting so bad, and replaced with a fat guy because the fat guy was outsourced with cleaning crew, and he was not the right fit, and nor was it the fit for him in this department. And then you get all of this nonsense coming on to you where you're just doing all of this extra work for the same amount of pay and floating around doing everybody's jobs. And then they expect more and more out of you, but your pay does not go up or any incentives. And then when you talk about leaving, they'd be like, please stay with us. Please stay. We need you. But when I say the reason I'm leaving is because I want to go back to my old position, they will not do that. I want a better pay. They cannot do that. And so I know what supply and demand is. And I'm like, well, what the hell's in it for me? I'm free to leave. And I learned a trade school in welding back in '08, and I want to go back to it. I'm at that age where what I failed at years ago, I'm going to go back and try it again. And I'm at the age where I constantly learn and grow doing hands-on work rather than work at a dead-end grocery store making shit wages. So to begin this story, what makes this picture and meme so clear is that when you go above your comfort zone, when you stand up for yourself, because when I was set upstairs in the office last week, they were just bringing up irrelevant topics, asking me questions I had no obligation to answer. They were expecting response from me, but I had little to no emotions and just gave a blank stare in the eyes the whole time. I had no reaction. I did not respond. I just gave the blank stare with no response. And it was 19 minutes of them just blabbering nonsense to me. And I stood up to it and just walked away, and I never returned. That's self-respect. You do not let anyone mistreat you, including your boss. Because the moment he mistreated me, I cut that motherfucker out of my life. You know, why do you think so many people are miserable and drink all the fucking time? Because they themselves live in the same situations that you did, but they're not willing to change it. Instead, they'll try to put you down. And just like this one person said to me, if you can't stock shelves at a grocery store right now, what makes you think you can be a welder? You couldn't keep a job. You couldn't do this. You couldn't do that. But this is the same person who worked at this dead-end job that I left for over 17 years and has not left or changed anything. You're going to let this person tell you how to live your life and say you can't do it. You listen to someone who themselves can't. And that starts with the toxic school system. You know, they want everyone to think like, oh, just because we can all learn one thing means that we can all do it. And to have a fair exam, everyone must do the same thing. Everyone must learn the same thing. If you can't do this, you can't do that. What kind of nonsense is that? That's like telling a fish to climb a tree, just like the picture you see. And it's kind of funny how all these naysayers have something to say about you. But the best response is no response.